Hello and happy Friday. Here we are again on another, dog treat. Sunny day. There's lots of sunshine coming in from that side over the window. It's cheerful here. Spring has seemingly sprung. I hope it's nice where you are. And if you're appreciating the rain, if it's not nice. I am Suzanne DeWitt Hall, and this is my beloved Declan DeWitt Hall. And we're here from the Where True Love Is movement to talk with you again today, as we do each Friday, most Fridays at least.
Most Fridays. Unless we're overwhelmed or sick or
something else happens.
Otherwise detained. But today we wanted to come to you and we wanted to talk about COVID and our world and the mask announcement yesterday and how we are doing post-vaccine. We've had 2 vaccines now. We're past our 2 weeks, so we are vaccinated.
We are officially, fully. I guess the term is fully vaccinated.
You want to share some thoughts on that?
Yes. So, our anniversary was Wednesday, and so we went out. We went to a beautiful botanical garden and enjoyed the great outdoors. We wore our masks. Probably, would you say 90% of the time? If people weren't around us, we didn't.
At least, yeah.
And that felt reasonably good, right? And then we went to a thrift store for the first time in over a year.
That was strange. I was scared.
That was strange. And it's mostly the few times we've had to go inside somewhere because we've extreme quarantined. I'm usually the one who runs in and out as fast as, can be, whatever the task is that can be accomplished for the most part. So you haven't been quite as used to like going inside and hanging out.
Right. I kind of stay in the car and stay safe.
Right. So that was an odd experience. It was joyful because we picked out some clothes for you.
We did.
So that was fun. Maybe the topic of another conversation. And so we got home and I wasn't quite sure how to feel. Did you feel like a kind of a mix of emotions about that?
Well, it was
experience?
interesting because there was like this excitement. Like when we first got to the thrift store, we were excited to get out of the car. It's something we used to love to do. We used to probably do it every week. And to go in and to look for the things we like the vintage cookbooks and stuff, it brings us a lot of joy. And we both like the history of the things that we buy and the price saving. So there was that excitement going in. But then once you got in, like you felt kind of safe, but kind of not. At the same time, though we were masked, you felt like this excitement of being in there, but also a little bit of fear. And then when we left, there was kind of like this letdown thing. It was like a birthday party that didn't quite go the way you wanted. I mean, it was exciting going into it, and then it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought.
Right.
It wasn't as exciting. It wasn't as rewarding as I thought it would be.
Yeah, and that's I posted on Twitter. I started thinking about this whole era that we're in right now, and that we it's going to be natural in this. Oh my gosh, there was just a bird trying to get in our window.
That was interesting. That's what happens when you go live. I felt like Alfred Hitchcock and the birds all of a sudden. Don't look at it.
Okay, it left. I don't think it got hurt. It didn't slam or anything. It just did a lot of fluttering. I started thinking about how it's going to probably be natural that we can have an emotional time right now. There's a letdown reflex after maintaining all this tension for months and months.
Yeah.
We've all changed. The world has kind of changed. A number of things in the world have changed,
right.
And we have changed. It's possible that as you begin to go out increasingly and shift into things you used to do. I mean, your favorite restaurants might be closed. Mm-hmm. Some of the things that you used to do may not be satisfying anymore. It could be that you get to spend time with your grandchildren and one of them turned into an adolescent brat.
No, that's impossible.
It's actually, but I've heard stories.
These are the horror stories you're hearing on Twitter.
This is not in our case that we know of.
There you go.
It could be that you go to church and it doesn't feel comfortable or satisfying or necessary. There's all these things that can take place, and even just the pace changing, because we've been used to, it was very frustrating to not be able to do things, and yet so many of us have accommodated our lives to that, and shifting gears into doing more can just take a toll. So all this can have this emotional impact, and I think that we just need to plan for it, almost the way we planned for what might happen after you get vaccinated. That some people have, stronger reactions than others. this is the same way. We just kind of have to plan that. It could be a struggle. There's this reentry that is difficult. And then the thing that further complicates it is this news out of the CDC, which is fantastic news, that the virus has been so successful that people really
The
are
vaccines.
the virus has been extremely successful, unfortunately. The vaccines have been so effective that, the need to wear masks is significantly reduced. I mean, so this is fresh news, and that is wonderful news. But it's also challenging news. The reality is that each vaccine has an extremely high effectiveness rate, but it's still that little few percent where there's a possibility you still can't get it. The likelihood of you getting extremely ill is very, very, very low. But we live in this time now where it's kind of hard to know how to proceed. And so we were talking about how everybody kind of has to decide for themselves, and that no one can tell you that you should just stop wearing your mask, or that you should just re-enter in some particular way into life as you previously knew it. We're trying to chew through that ourselves. I think that we're probably going to be continuing to be somewhat cautious and continue some
I think
of
for
our
the
protocols.
most part, I mean, I see people's emotions all over the place, from excitement, exuberation, I can go outside without a mask, to, hey, wait a minute, I'm not going to do that. There's this much of a risk that I could catch this horrible thing that's killing people in horrific ways, so I'm not going to go without a mask. So I think, you've got to, like in the beginning, we trusted science, and Suzanne and I believe very much in science, and we trust the CDC and their guidelines. But we've been protecting ourselves for 15 months. We've been so isolated and quarantined, and now it's okay. It's just not quite there for me yet. I mean, it's still like I've got to be careful in some situations. Outside seems to make sense, and I don't think that we have to go through a gallon of sanitizer every month anymore. I think there are things that are making sense that we can pull back a little bit. But going outside, like you said, was completely different. Even when we went to the thrift store, people weren't interacting the way that they had before. We would go to the thrift store and somebody'd say, "Do you see this? Look at this." And they would talk to you. People were kind of staying to themselves, which was good. I respected that, but it was different than what I was used to. So it's like you jumped off of a ship, and then all of a sudden you're back on the ship, and it's different. You weren't on there. You were out swimming, doing your own thing on a desolated island or something. But now we're back, and it felt really odd. It felt strange and exciting at the same time. But I think with us, we have to be safe. We spent 15 months protecting each other, and we've got to continue to protect each other and look at the facts and go with it day by day.
Yeah. So I think we're still going to wear masks a lot of the time because for a number of reasons. One is that there's a lot of people who are not vaccinated, and it is a message that needs to be heard by people that for trying to protect others, right? So partially it's symbolic, I think, and partially it's an excess of caution. So we're going to go step by step, and you probably have to do the same thing.
Right.
Just whatever feels right for you.
I think for us, as we were talking yesterday, we are in that category above 50 that have been vaccinated and that were at the head of the line. We weren't completely at the head, but we still have teenagers, we still have youth, and we still have young people that haven't been vaccinated. And if there's any chance I could carry that and give it to them and me not get sick, even if it's a tiny, tiny little bit, I don't want that on me.
Right.
So even if it's just for that, until I find out, that's all good. I'm hearing good things about it, but not 100%. I want someone to tell me 100% before I risk passing something on to a younger person.
Right. And we won't ever.
I know. Will we ever? It's kind of like the flu
It's not gonna be
vaccine,
100%.
I think. So I think we just have to go with it day by day, and we have to respect each other for where we are. Some people aren't wearing masks and others are. And you have to protect yourself and respect other people's rights to do what they want to do.
Yeah, it just got a little bit more complicated,
Yeah,
right, for
it did.
all of us. So we hope that you are doing okay given all this, that you will plan for some emotional upheaval as your life changes again in the coming months, whether that's soon, like for us, because we just got fully vaccinated, or
Right.
whether, you're still waiting. Wherever you are in this, you have our prayers. This country and this world, and India, we lift them all up in hopes that soon this plague will kind of be behind us.
So give each other grace and yourself grace to move through this next phase. The unmasking, as it might be.
Right.
Whatever.
Be smart.
Be smart.
Keep monitoring what's going on. Yeah, I think that's it.
And take care of yourself, and have a great weekend and a great week. And we will see you next Friday with another live chat. We love you all.
So
Take
great
care.
to have stuff to celebrate today. Take care.